everybody, this is Dave Walsh, and we are continuing with the Dream Chaser campaign, and we are in the Drowned Ruins. I don't know why it took me a minute to figure that out, but here we are, and we've made it this far. I'm actually really liking this campaign. I didn't think I was going to love it as much. I didn't like the Dream Chaser cycle as much as I loved some of the other cycles, especially the later ones like the Arid Mithrin and the Sands of Harad. But I'm enjoying this. Maybe it's just because I haven't been playing Lord of the Rings as much lately, and just any kind of playing Lord of the Rings is good. Let's get started. We'll do my hand, and then we'll do setup, and then campaign setup, and take a look at all the cards. On the left, we have Galleon, 0 cost ally, makes the deck sing. And doesn't have any stats, but he gets +1 when he comes into play. And with Galadriel and Celeborn, he's pretty decent. So we will love to see Galleon. Makes things go well, especially like Elven King and those things that you need to have 0 cost allies. All those 0 cost events, like, just very good. And then Haldir of Lorien, a shout out to the first cycle here. Haldir of Lorien by Magali Villanueva. I love this art, and Haldir is ranged and sentinel. Not anything necessarily special, but has 2 of each stat, so it's pretty nice. And then the tree people on the left there allows me to pull a Sylvan, namely Galleon, back into my hand, and I search top 5 cards of my deck for a different Sylvan, and bang, Galleon turns into a different Sylvan. So hopefully I can use that early on here. And then Island Amid Perils, which is kind of a non-bow with Galleon. You get to pull a Sylvan back into your hand, and then you get to you get to reduce your threat by the cost of that Sylvan. Okay, and Ancestral Armor, that's going to go right on to Thranduil. Thranduil, he's going to have 2 defense and 2 hit points. It could go on any one of my characters, because they're, 2 of them are leadership. Any one of my heroes, I should say. 2 of them are leadership, and they're all nobles. But Thranduil is the target because he's the defender. And then lastly, I have Nenya in my hand, and Nenya is able to give Galadriel a lore resource icon, and then I'm able to use her willpower and give it to another questing character. Every once in a while, I like to highlight a hero, or the heroes that I'm using, just so that we can remember what's going on. So we have Thranduil, who was out in Fire in the Night, and is coming out in the Arid Mithrin box. And this is what the Sylvans needed, was a beefy defender. He's not terribly beefy, but he's about as beefy as you can get for an elf. And so his combat action allows you to put a Sylvan into play from your hand, ignoring its resource match, and you can do that one time, and you do it during combat action. And I always put the One Ring onto Thranduil in these plays, because I like to give him the defendy stuff. I like to boost the defense as much as I can, and so we're going to attach this to attach the One Ring to Thranduil. The setup of the One Ring allows me to go through and find a master card, and I only have 1 master card in this deck, and it's the defendy one. There's 7 master cards, and there's all sorts of nice things that you can use, but I'm going to just stick with the 1, and it just allows me to give an extra defense to Thranduil and cancel a shadow effect that was just revealed, just triggered. Side 1A of the Drowned Ruins, the grotto here. Okay, so we have found the entrance in the Temple of the Deceived, the map one, and now we are searching around in the grotto in all these flooded locations. And it says, set the Shrine to Morgoth aside out of play. We already saw 1 Shrine of Morgoth location earlier in this campaign. It says, prepare the grotto deck. Add the top 2 locations from the grotto deck to the staging area. Grotto side face up. you can see that the traits on this underground and grotto, they're not all underground, they're not, but they're all grotto, so these locations get faced up, and they're double-sided locations. I'm not going to turn them over. I'm going to save the surprise for myself. If you look at the undersea grotto, it says, while it's the active location, reduce the cost of the first ally played by the player each round by 1. So that's going to give me a positive benefit. And it says, after you travel to undersea grotto, you may flip it to its underwater side. Cursed Caverns on the right there has a response. After you travel to Cursed Caverns, you may flip to the underwater side. And so we can flip it, and it says, after the players explore Cursed Caverns as the active location, each player may raise his threat by 2 to draw the bottom card of his deck. So we can get some positive effects here. Okay, so the first player takes control of Captain Sahir, and the last player takes control of Nasia. So let's take a look at those 2 cards. Okay, Sahir and Nasia. Sahir on the left says that he gets +1 and +1 will and +1 attack for each resource on him. The max is +6, but he can have a bajillion resources on him. Doesn't matter. It says spend 1 resource from a hero you control to transfer it to Sahir. Nasia also has that same action. So on the right there, it's her action is that you can spend 1 resource to give her either +1 or +2 attack or +2 defense for this attack. So she can be beefy if you give her the chance to be. Okay, it says while an underwater location is the active location, players cannot play attachments or allies. After a double-sided location explored, add the top location from the grotto deck to the staging area, grotto side face up. You cannot advance unless there are at least 3 underwater locations in the victory display. So I'm going to have to turn over those locations that we found that are in the staging area, and we're going to have to turn them over and then explore them, and then hopefully not get allies and stuff, or not need allies and stuff. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we get to attach the black key to Captain Sahir, and the Revenant goes into the encounter deck. Each player may choose a copy of Command and add it to their hand. For this game, increase the value of X on each of those copies by 1. Previously, I upgraded the black key so that Sahir could earn his own resources, and that's important. And then you can exhaust the black key to ready Sahir. And Sahir gets +1, +1, +1. So that's helpful for Sahir. And then Command on the right, I've decided I had 5 leftover, or 5 XP to use, and I'm going to use 3 on Command. I'm going to use the other 2 to upgrade Starla. So Starla is a level 2 and Command is level 3. And then the last paragraph there says 1 player may choose 1 copy of Círdan's Blessing and add it to their hand for each character in play. Its controller may deal 1 damage to it and reduce their threat by 1. So I'm not going to do that. And the Círdan's Blessing that I'm picking is the leadership version, and it says it enters play with X resources on it. X is 1 more than the level of Círdan's Blessing. Right now, Círdan's Blessing is level 1, and so I can use some resources to give a character +3 defense. So Thranduil can defend for like a whole boatload. So let's get started and take a look at the play area and go from there. I have the Grotto deck and my encounter deck, obviously, my threat in the staging area tracker. I have my thematic Helm of the Stormcaller tracker here for willpower all the way up. I have my 2 Grotto locations, my quest card. I have this. I don't think there's any side quests, but just in case, put this by the active location. I have 29 current threat. I have Galadriel over here, just in case I need a marker for something. And this is an easier quest, so I may be able to use the check mark, but I'm not even gonna use the back of the resolution as a check for this. Okay, so I have my heroes and Nasia and Sahir. I guess we should get started. I'll draw a card, and I get a Galathrum Minstrel, which allows me to search the top 5 cards of my deck for an event. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is play Nenya onto Galadriel, and then I'm going to play Círdan's Blessing onto Thranduil, and it comes in with 1 resource more than the level. Right now it's level 0, so that's good. It comes in there. And then I'm going to play Galleon, and I'm not going to take the chance. I do have some things that don't quest for things, and it's possible at the very beginning that I don't even draw an ally. So I'm not going to use Tree People yet. Okay, but I am going to play Inner Strength now onto Thranduil. So if I need to, Thranduil can defend for 7. It's time to quest. Now, Galadriel's ability says that the turn something comes into play. It does. The turn an ally comes into play. It doesn't have to be Sylvan or Noldor. It doesn't have to be an elf. It just says that it doesn't exhaust a quest. So that's going to happen here. So quest for 1, 2, 4. I don't get the bonus because these guys aren't Sylvan. But the black key helps. Okay, and now... so that's 4. What's in the staging area here? 5. Okay, so I'll use... That's 7. Again, it's been so long, I'm unfamiliar with the encounter deck here. So this is not my go-to cycle, my go-to campaign. So I can do 7, and if I need to, I can commit Galadriel. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Okay, we get the Revenant right on top. Okay, the Revenant is a burden that got added to this deck, and it says immune to player card effects, gets +2 attack, +2 defense for each resource on the campaign card, and it says when 3 or more damage would be placed on the Revenant, place just 2 damage instead, so you can't kill it in 1 round. And then it says after the Revenant is destroyed, shuffle it into the encounter deck. Place 1 resource on the campaign card. So I have 3 more, so that's 8. I did 7. Okay, I'm not going to take the threat raise, so I'm going to use Galadriel and Nenya to go up to 11. So that's 8 and 11, so I do 3 progress on the main quest. Okay, I did quest successfully, so Sahir gets the resource. Okay, so now I'm going to travel. Okay, so I'm going to travel to the Undersea Grotto, and I'm just not going to tempt fate here to see if I can flip it over yet. I just feel like it's bad news. Now I'm going to use the Tree People in the travel action window to bring Galleon back to my hand. I feel like I have to bring out my healing here. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, the Sylvan Tracker just has a response. It's 3 cost, but it's got 3 hit points, so it can take some damage. And it says after a Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage. This is basically all the healing that a Sylvan deck needs. Doesn't need any fancy stuff. Okay, so I'm going to engage the Revenant here. And I can defend the Revenant this time, like all around here, pretty easily. Okay, so it's immune to player card effects, but I can defend with Thranduil. And we do this. It says if this attack destroys an ally, place that ally at the bottom of the deck. We're not going to do that. And it doesn't do any damage. So now we can do, let's see, 2, 4, 6 damage, but that's 2 damage here. Seems pretty good, so let's ready, get resources, raise threat, do all that good stuff. I get the Galadriel's Handmaiden. Let's take a look at her. Great Quester. So the Handmaiden, when it enters play, you choose a player and reduce threat by 1, which I love because I'm the only player in the game, so I get that. So I don't have the resources to play her right now, but I'll be able to soon enough. Okay, I'm going to put Galleon into play. So let's see, what's in the staging area? Oh wait, I can reduce the cost of the first ally I play by 1. So I'm going to reduce the cost of this girl by 1 each round. So by using that location, now I get to lower my threat by 1. So I'm down to 29 threat, and I have this, and now I'll play Galleon. Okay, so grotto locations are helpful. So at least right now, that means that the backs of these are going to be horrible. Okay, so questing 2, 5, and then I'm going to quest with Sahir for another 2. That's 7. I have 3 in the staging area. I need to make 3 progress there, but I want to be able to kill this. I don't have all the good things to kill this. Okay, I'll quest for 8, and then I hope that I can use Galadriel to lower my threat and draw a card. Okay, Drowned Cave. While Drowned Cave is the active location, undead enemies cannot be engaged. Return any engaged undead enemies to the staging area. Forced, if Drowned Cave is the active location at the end of the quest phase, each player must discard the top 10 cards of his deck. Then you may return Drowned Cave to the staging area. Oh. So we have to get out of there quick. I don't want to have to discard cards from my deck. Okay, so I'm up to 6, and I get to make 2 progress on the location, which is okay by me. Okay, I'm not going to travel. I can't travel. I did quest successfully, so I get to put a resource here on Sahir. Okay, and now I can attack. Okay, I don't have anything to engage, so I will attack. This guy will attack. Defend for 3. Or defend for 4 against 3. It says reveal an encounter card. I hate this ominous face. Okay. Let's see. So reveal an encounter card. It gives me a Drowned Dead. It says while Drowned Dead attacks and destroys, when it attacks and destroys an ally, place that ally in the bottom of its owner's deck. It doesn't go into my discard pile. Great art. I love the art. I've seen this card 3 or 4 times now. I love it. Okay, well, this guy stays in the staging area. I missed the engagement phase, so nothing happens to it. Okay, and I didn't take any damage here, but now I can do damage. I'm going to do 2, 4, 5, 4. I just have to do 4 damage. And so that is able to allow, that kills the Revenant. The Revenant gets shuffled back into the encounter deck. And I get to put 1 resource on the campaign card. I'm going to use Galadriel's ability to lower my threat and to draw a card. I get another Island Amid Perils. And then I'm going to use Thranduil's combat action to spend 2 and to bring out the Galadriel Minstrel. I get 1 event, and that event is Come Together. So now we will ready and do all the things for the end of the round and then subsequently the beginning of the round. I draw a card. I get the Sylvan the Lorien Guide. Okay, and so another core set shout out. I'm gonna play Island Amid Perils to bring the Handmaiden back up into my hand to reduce my threat by 2. And then I'm going to use the effect of the Grotto to bring the Handmaiden back out and lower my threat again. So I get 3 threat lower for 1 cost. So that's not so bad. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Command. Okay, and I have 3 resources on. It's level 3. But because it's, I can't even play Command. Okay, I'll do that next round. Okay, so questing. 3, 4, 7, 8. Let's see, 2, 5, 8. I have 8 in the staging area. 2, 5, 8. I'm going to have to engage this guy when it comes down. But that's okay. I can do that. 8. I don't know how much damage I can do. I can't do a ton of damage with that guy. But okay. So I guess I will do 11 and hope that I can get through here. Okay. I see a treachery. Let's just look at it together. Curse of the Downfallen. Deal 1 damage to each non-objective ally with a printed cost of 2 or less. Place each ally destroyed by this effect on the bottom of its owner's deck. So it's like a Necromancer's Reach. And so that means I'm going to lose this, and this. So I'm losing 4 willpower. Okay, I will exhaust Galadriel and Nenya to go back up to 4, so that's 11. 8, 9, 10. So that's 3. I make 3 progress. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me exchange these 5 for denominated token here. Okay, so this gets explored, and then the explored grotto location that gets shuffled back in, and it says after a double-sided location is explored, add the top. So here, I'm going to add this one to the staging area, and this one I'm going to shuffle back in. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to travel here. And I'm not going to flip it over. I don't know when the best time to flip it over is, but I know that right now is not the best time because I don't have anything to help here. But I am going to use this response at some point to draw the bottom card of my deck. So this guy engages. I guess I don't need to engage it, but I'm going to. I did quest successfully, so he's good. And now I'm going to defend here. And shadow card here. So I'm defending for 4. And that's 4. And it says discard the bottom card of your deck. If that card's printed cost is 2 or less, I'm going to cancel that shadow effect by raising my threat by 1. Okay, because I know what the bottom card of my deck is, because I can. When I did the Curse of the Downfallen, I was able to do any of that. Okay. Okay, so I've canceled that, and now I have to do some damage here. I can't do any damage. So, end of round, we're ready, raise threat, do all the good stuff. Draw a card, I get another Sylvan Tracker. And now I'm going to play Ancestral Armor. That gives Thranduil more attack and more hit points. So I'm going to play Command. I have 1 resource. And Command is level 4, So a hero gets +2 willpower until the end of the round. I'm going to give that to Thranduil. Each character with Kieran's Blessing does not exhaust to commit to a quest this round, so he's questing for 3. It says place 2 progress on a non-unique location. So I'm going to put it onto this here, the one that's bad. Yeah, discard 10 cards, blah, blah, blah. And then I take the Spyglass and I put it onto put Spyglass into play. So I get to put this here. It's funny, I thought the Spyglass wasn't going to really do me any good. But this goes up in the victory display. We'll put the victory display there. This is the active location. Okay, I'm going to actually exhaust the Spyglass to put a progress here. Let's quest. So I'm questing for 3. 3 and 4 is 7. What's in the staging area? 5 in the staging area. Okay. So if I do 7, okay, I'll do this for another 3. That's 10. And then I hope I can draw a card and let's see. Okay, so it's a treachery. Into the Abyss. Okay, Into the Abyss. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Looks like the bottom of a well or something. I don't know. Cracks of Doom. Anyways, it says each player chooses a card type and discards each card in his hand that is not of the chosen card type. If no cards are... Okay. So I'm going to pick Ally. And so that means I get to keep all the allies. And then I'm going to discard these 2 events. Island, Mid-Perils, and Come Together. I don't have a way to recur those, but it's the best I got. I want to keep my allies. Okay, so 5 versus 10. That does exactly here. So, okay, I explored this. This goes to the top, and then I shuffle this back into the deck. Okay. And now, let's see. Well, Underground Grotto is the active location. Okay, I'm going to go back to here. Okay, now I have to do something with this guy. I did quest successfully, so here gets some of that. And now let's do this. I'm going to exhaust Galadriel, lower my threat to draw a card. And so I get another copy of Nenya. Boo. Okay, and then I will... so I'm defending for 6 over there. It says attacking enemy gets +2 if the active location is underwater, or +1 if not. Doesn't matter. No damage, and I can't even do anything. Okay, well, this guy is stuck with me. Okay, off we go. Time to ready and do all this stuff. I forgot to do the... I'm going to do the, I'm going to trigger, I'm going to raise my threat by 2 to do the response on the Cursed Cavern, which happens to be the top card here, but I get to draw the bottom card of my deck, which happens to be Galleon. I put Galleon on the bottom of my deck there. Now I'm going to use the Spyglass to get rid of this location. Okay, and I only have 2 in the staging area, so maybe this is a good time to try to do something. I don't know what I can do, but I can play Galleon. Okay, so that's 2. 2, 3, 7. I'm just going to do it now. Okay, I'm probably going to regret that, but okay. Hopefully I can get through there. Let's see what we get. Tangling and grasping. Each player must remove a character from the quest. If the active location is underwater, deal it 2 damage. Deal 2 damage to each character removed from the quest this way. So it's not underwater. I'll remove the Sylvan Tracker from the quest. I'm back down to 6 because I just have Galleon and this guy. So 6, that's 3, 2 plus it's 5. So I do an extra 1 here. Okay, so this goes back into here. And this gets added. Shuffle this back in. Okay. And I will, I'll go here to draw the bottom card off of my deck, which should be the Handmaiden. I hope. Now we have to defend, do that stuff. So I'll do this, and I will defend with Thranduil. 14, 4 versus 6 here. If the active location is underwater, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a creature enemy and add it. Okay, well, not underwater. Okay, going nuts. So I'm going to do 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to kill this thing. Okay, finally. Ready. Do all the things that we need to do. I got a host of the Galathrum. I have to raise my threat by 1. Quest for 1. What's in the staging area? 2. So 1, 4, 4, 5. How many people out there have quested with Nausea? Okay. 5 versus 2. It is what it is. Let's go. Powerful Undertow. Love this art again, too. It says you cannot flip the active location this round. If the active location is underwater, resolve its forced effect. If there is no underwater active location, Powerful Undertow gains Doom 3 instead. Okay, I'm just going to put that there to remind myself. So it's 2, and then I did 5, so I did 3 on that location. Okay. So I don't have anything else to do. Throw that away, I guess. Okay, so now during the combat phase, I'm going to play Haldir for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to use the Spyglass to put a location on this, or to put a progress on that location. Okay. Okay. Let's ready. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to lower my threat and draw a card, and I get Orphan. That's good. Now I'm going to ready. I'm at 33 threat, and I get a Minstrel. I think I'm going to bring out a Galathrum Minstrel for 2 here. 1, 2. And then I get to search for an event in the top 5. And I get the card that I wanted. Tree People. Okay. Now I'm going to play Tree People, bring Galleon back into my hand, and look for, hopefully, Legolas. So I guess Rumil is the thing to do. Okay, and then I'm going to bring out Galleon Now I want to see, let's see, 2. So without even trying, 2, 3, 5, 7. These guys don't even exhaust a quest. Okay, 7. I'm going to wait to put progress onto that way I don't have to worry about the staging area. So 7 versus 2. I kind of want to quest a ton here. So quest here for another 5. So that's 12. And I'm going to hope to use Galadriel in her drawing ability. Okay, so what do we got? I see what MJ did when she designed this is that she was trying to have so many treacheries that playing solo you just couldn't cancel every single one of them. She's a tricky one. When revealed, add the top location from the grotto deck to the staging area and flip that location to its underwater side. This can't be canceled. Here is its grotto side. This is the undersea grotto. This is the kind of the one that I kind of like because I get to reduce my thing. But let's see what the other side is. I haven't seen one side. This is the Twisting Hollow. It says, while Twisting Hollow is the active location, characters cannot ready from card effects. If Twisting Hollow is the active location at the end of the quest phase, each player must discard one character. Then you may flip Twisting Hollow to its grotto side. Okay, so looks like we need to do this. So this has 4 threat. So I've added 4 threat to the staging area. 6 versus 12. I make 6 progress, so I'm going to put 1 here and 5 there. I'm going to raise my threat by 2. I already did that. And then I'm going to draw the bottom card of my deck. I got a little ahead of myself before I hit record here. And the bottom card of my deck is a Woodland Courier. I thought it was going to be the Handmaiden, but I did Tree People and I had to shuffle my deck. So the Woodland Courier is nice. It's allowed to. I put a progress on the location. 2 if it has the forest trait. Okay, so this goes up here, and then I shuffle this back into here, grotto side up, but I quested successfully, so I get to put that here. So I'm going to travel here. I'm going to need to start putting these into the victory display to move along. And then it says if it's there at the end, you get to discard 1 character. So I'm going to discard this character. Okay. Now I get to ready. Sorry, I'm not going to ready yet. I'm going to use Galadriel's ability to draw a card and lower my threat. I get quicker than sight, which cancels a shadow effect. Okay. And then I'm going to use the Spyglass to put a progress on that location. I'm going to play the Lorien. Do I want to play the Lorien Guide? I'm going to play the Lorien Guide here. That gets me more bang for my buck. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 to do that. Okay. Now we ready and we move on. I used her ability already, so ready. Draw a card. I get a Tree People. That is phenomenal. That's a great time to see that. Really do. So I'm going to Tree People Galleon. Galleon comes back into my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to play Legolas. Get that card drawing engine going. And then I'll put Galleon back into play. Okay, but I'm going to use the Spyglass. Actually, I'm going to wait to use the Spyglass because it may be the time. It may not be the time to do that. Okay, so I need to quest. So I'm questing for 2, 4 here. Okay, 5. And that puts another thing there. Okay, 5. All right, 2, 4, 5. 11. 12. How much is in this? There's 4 in the staging area, so I need to get 18. So 11, 12. 15. 15. 17. I'm going to do 17. And then I have 21. I'll do the 21 now. I'll do it now because I know that I want to get through this. 21. And there's 4 plus 12 is 16. So that's good. Okay. So unless I get some major surge train. Cave eel. This looks gross. 3 threat, 3 attack, 4 defense. It's a 20 threat cost creature. And it says, unless the active location is underwater. Oh my gosh, it just happens to be underwater. At the beginning of the encounter phase, return cave eel to the staging area unless the active location is underwater. Okay, so there's the cave eel. We have 7 in the staging area, and I did 21. 7 minus 21 is 14. So that's this. Good, 14. So I get to put 2 more here, and I get to explore that. That goes up in there. So that's explored. So I get to put this in the staging area, and I know this is going to sound silly. Well, let's do it in the right order. There's Sahir with his 6 max, so he's like 7. He's my everything here. I'm going to go to the waterlogged halls, and I'm going to flip it over. So let's see what Dark Abyss says. It says, while Dark Abyss is the active location, characters cannot attack. If Dark Abyss is the active location at the end of the quest phase, deal 1 damage to each character in play. And then you may flip Abyss to its grotto side. Okay, so now I'm going to engage this thing because I just want to be able to heal some stuff. And I can't attack, but it's okay. I ended up losing Galleon, but here we go. I'm going to defend here for 6, and there's no shadow. That's Throngs of Unfaithful. Okay. Beginning of the encounter phase, so we already did that. So now let's heal. So the Sylvan Tracker heals everything. In the staging area right now is 5. I'm gonna have to do that. So let's raise my threat. I'll raise my threat, then I'll draw. I get a Feigned Voices. That may help. Okay, but I'm going to play Orphan now. Orphan allows me to find an ally in my discard pile. And it's going to be Galleon. Galleon is important here. And I'm going to play Galleon. So Orphan costs 3. Galleon costs 0. Then I'm going to play the Woodland Courier. I'm going to put a damage here, or a progress there. Actually, I know I didn't play the Spyglass last round, but that is a bummer. Okay, so look, I get to, these are all new this round, so I'm going to do 1, and that's a progress here. So how much is in the staging area? 5. And I have to do 10 more. So look, 2, 4, 7. So here we'll do another 7. That's 14. So I have to do 15 here. So let's see. 2, 16, and then Galadriel. Whoop. You know what? I'll do 19. 19 versus 5. And I still have the spyglass. So let's see what happens. I get the Throngs of the Unfaithful. I hate this guy. Surge, and then you have to look at the bottom card of your deck. If it's 2 or less, actually you discard the bottom card of your deck. If it's 2 or less, then you return it to the staging area. So you get the Throngs of Unfaithful plus a Surge. And look, I get the Revenant. Okay, we've already dealt with the Revenant once. So, okay, so that adds 4 to the staging area. Okay, so 9 versus 19 is exactly what I need to do some stuff. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this up into the staging area. So now this comes out. Okay. I need to deal with stuff here. So I'm going to go here. I'm not flipping it. This goes back into the staging area, and these guys come out. Okay. Okay, so now we'll deal shadow cards. 1, 2. Okay, and now I'm going to, let's see, this guy just became active. So I get to play a card this round for 2 to reduce. So let's see, I'm going to bring this guy into play. Okay. So now I'm going to defend with that guy for 2. No shadow. Okay, no damage. And now I'm going to defend over here. This is 6. Defending for 6, attacking for 5. And it says attacking and it gets +1/+2 if it's underwater. Just +1. So 6, attack for 6 because of that. Okay, so neither does any damage. I'm going to use Galadriel to lower my threat and to draw a card. Okay, I get a Minstrel. I get the Glathrun Minstrel. Okay, now what are we going to do? Okay, I'm going to take 3 off of Sahir to ready him, because that's one of the things that the black key can do. And then he's attacking for 4. So I'm going to use this to attack this. So I discard the bottom card of my deck, and it's a 1 cost. So this stays on the top. Okay, I should probably just keep it engaged with me. Okay, and then this is, actually, this is a good time here. I'm going to do 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 2 damage to the Revenant. So here did ready, or did quest successfully. So that's good. Okay, so now we ready and do all the things that readying does. Okay, I get a test of will. I don't even need to show you that. That's good. I'm going to play this for 1. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for an event. Well, I guess I'll get a second test of will. So that's 2, 3. I didn't use this. I'm going to use it now. Okay. And then this puts a progress here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 10. I'm going to regret not having the... Hang on. I'm going to use Sahir for another 5. So that's 15. 15 versus 8. So the Throngs of the Unfaithful come out. That adds a 1. And then the Surge is Ancient Depths. Add the top location from the grotto deck to its into the staging area and flip that location to its underwater side. Okay, so this comes out underwater. So let's take a look at the Sunken Temple. While this is the active location, attachments are blank. If Sunken Temple is the active location at the end of the quest phase, discard 1 resource from each objective ally in each hero's resource pool. Then you may... Okay. 15 versus 12, right? 3, 5, 8, 9, 12. So that I make 3 progress. So that's going to be 1 on here and 2 on the active. So I am now up to too much. 5, 10, 17. Okay. So this goes back, gets shuffled back in. I have to go here. And then it doesn't really matter. They're both the same location. The backs could be different though. Okay. Now I'm going to travel to the Sunken Grotto. And it says if Sunken is the active location at the end of the quest, discard 1 resource from each. So this guy quested successfully, so I'll discard that one. 1, 1. And that's... So get rid of all of that. Okay. Now, each attachment is blank. Okay, so I'm going to use Gladriel to lower my threat and to draw a card. And I get Asphalloth. That's good. Now I have to engage this guy. And I can engage the eel here. I don't know if I can kill anything. But let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, attachments don't mean anything. So he's defending for 3 against, I guess, the Revenant. Wait, you know what I can do? Okay, I'm going to bring Galleon up into my hand by playing a Feigned Voices. A Feigned Voices cancels an attack. And that's, I can't cancel this attack because it's, that guy's immune to player card effects, but I can cancel that attack. Okay. So 3 versus 5. That's good. And I do have, as far as I know, I do have some Quicker Than Sights, which allows me to cancel shadow effects. Okay, so I'll do this. It says, if the active location is underwater, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a creature enemy. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Quicker Than Sight, and I'm going to bring Orphan back up into my hand. Orphan? I'm going to bring Orphan back up into my hand. and cancel that shadow effect. Okay, that does 2 damage to Thranduil. This guy's attacking, defending. I need 2. So, let's see. I guess Colorborn. No shadow. Okay, so now let's see. I can do 3, 5. This guy has an attack 6. Okay, good. That kills this and shuffles it back into the encounter deck. Okay, so now I have to figure out what else I can do. I want to be able to kill this guy. I'm going to leave this guy out. Because that was, I can draw a card. I get another Host of the Glathroom. Okay. Now, if I ready, that's 2, 4. But then I can't do anything. I'm going to leave this guy engaged with me. Here we go. Let's ready and get resources and do all that good stuff. I get Starla. I was very lucky at the end of the Temple of the Deceived last game because the entrance to the grotto was had a secret, and it happened to be Starla. It wasn't a recurring nightmare. So I am able to put her into play for free. I spent 2, so she's X is 1 here in this case, and then I get to put progress on a location. Or I play Orphan. Okay, I'm going to play Orphan. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, my attachments are blank, so I'm going to lower my threat and draw a card, and I get a Marksman of Lorien. Okay, now let's quest. So I have 8 in the staging area and 10 here, so I need to make sure I make enough progress. So I'm going to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this. She doesn't exhaust a quest. So I can't I have to wait to put progress here. So, but that's from the Lorien guide. So this is, and this is Noldor, not Sylvan. So 5. This is another 3. So that's 8, 9. Okay, here's all my pile of questers. 9 plus 4 is 13. Can I get up to 10? 13, 16, 18, 8, and 10. That's what I got. Oh, I can play this for 0, so that's another 2. So that's 20. Okay. 20. 20 versus 8. Let's see what we can do here. And I get the Soulless Cadaver. I love the glow blue. It says, while you're engaged with Soulless Cadaver, your deck cannot be searched. When Soulless Cadaver engages you, place each card in your hand with a printed cost of 2 or less at the bottom of your deck. Okay, so that's another 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, look, we just barely made it. So this gets explored. And now we have enough progress. We move on to 2B. Okay, so now 6. I have to do this. This guy is an enemy. Comes up here. Okay, I have to make an attack somehow. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Deal it a shadow card. I'm defending for 6. So here's, I guess, 7. Even though the attachment doesn't say anything about the attachment, so I'll just count that the attachment is 6. No shadow, and does it damage. Okay, so now it says Sahir is removed from the game. It says while an underwater location is the active location, players cannot play attachments or allies. Allies, horrible. Attachments, okay, I guess. Okay, so my hope is that I get through the Shrine of Morgoth. 18. Okay, and I don't have to engage this or this. And let's see, that's 6. 12. There is 12. There's 14 in the staging area right now. It's kind of a bummer. Okay, this goes back up here. Actually, so now that's not 14. It's 17 in the staging area. So I'm going to have to do like 35 progress. Well, the throngs of the unfaithful. I will defend with Nausea here. Okay, discard an attachment I control. Let's see. What's an attachment I control? Do I have a quicker than sight? So I will discard the ancestral armor. Okay, and then I will after Starla exhausts. So I'll do 1. I'll do this. That puts a progress here. I'll use the spyglass. Put another progress here, and then I'll look at my bottom card. It's 1 cost. Okay, so that means this goes on the top of the deck. But I get to draw a card. I get Hadamarth, which doesn't do me any good right now. Nath Guide. I'm going to play the Host of the Glathrum. It's the only thing that I really can do here. Okay, so by putting the Host of the Glathrum down, all of these don't do anything. Okay, so now, first things first. I'm going to put down a Glathrum Minstrel to look for some sort of event, and I get Galdor's Council. While I do this, I'm going to keep track of willpower, so that's 2 willpower. Okay, and then I'm going to, I guess I'll play that for another 2, and this for another 2. And then I'm going to bring that in for another 2. That's 8. And when that comes in, I get to put that in there. Let's see. That's another 2. That's 10. 12. 15. 18. 20, 23, and because I brought him into play, I get to find one of these guys. Okay, I'm going to play Galdor's Council to give, and it's level 5, or it has 5, so that means I can put 3 on a hero. And so I'll put this into play and look for an event card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to find much of an event. Oh, I do have a Faint Voices. That's a good card to have. That's another 2, so that's 25. That was 2. Then I'm going to spend 1 to bring Hennemarth River Song into play. And that's another 2. That's 27 before I do anything crazy. Okay, 27. And I still have to worry about these guys. So 27. Okay. Let me make sure. So I use the Spyglass, Starla, and the Sky. Okay, so I didn't do anything. So now it says at the beginning of the quest phase, flip Shrine of Morgoth without removing its token. So I'm going to put quest points over here. Okay, there's that. It says if the Shrine of Morgoth is active at the end of the quest phase. So this is what I wanted. I mean, I could live through this, but I don't want to. Okay. So 3, 5, 11, 17 I have. Okay. I'm going to now use Starla for 1, and that puts another progress here. Okay. And the Lorien Guide puts another, so I'm up to 5 here. I'll replace. Okay. I'm going to use the Spyglass for another 1. Okay. So that was, let's see, 28. I think, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 27, 28, right? 30, 31, I'll start here. That's 31, 35. Okay, 35. And I have 6 progress here, so that's, I only need to make 12. So 35, 29. I can't test of will anything, but that's okay. Okay, so ready? We'll do this. So that's 1, that's 18. And then we look, and we get, each player must remove a character from the quest. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have to do, I didn't leave 1 for a test of will. Deal 2 damage to each character removed from the, if the active, okay. Must remove a character from the quest. So who am I going to remove from the quest? I will remove this guy from the quest. Let me do this. I'll remove I'll remove this guy from the quest. Whatever. So now I'm down to 33. Okay. I thought it was going to make me do 2 damage to every character. Oh my god, I was going to die. That was horrible. So 33 versus 18. So that's 12. 15 progress. So I get through. Yes! The Host of the Glathrum is a mighty, amazing card. That is a wildly good card. And I feel like this is where MJ and Caleb are going back and forth with each other. They're like, I'll make a card that can beat your quest, or I can make a quest that's going to beat your Sylvans, Caleb. And then Caleb said, I'm going to make a card that beats your quest, MJ. And between the two of them, they were fighting back and forth, I'm sure. But anyways, pretty happy. Placed a lot of progress. Okay, let's do the resolution of the quest. Let's see what happens, or the resolution of the campaign. Okay, so we had each copy of Command and Kieran's Blessing chosen during setup to the campaign pool. Okay, and I didn't have any XP to start, so I get 1 XP for each surviving player, and then 1 XP for each resource to a maximum of 3. So I had 2 resources on it. Okay, and it says 1. 1 XP if Nasia has 5 or more resources. Boo. Okay, 1 XP if 5 or more underwater locations are in the victory display. They're not. 2 XP if the Shrine to Morgoth grotto side is in the victory display. I have no idea how I would have been able to get it in the grotto side, but that's fine. And then I have a player. It's good. And then my threat is less than 40. So I have 4 XP going into the next scenario.